Well, hello, all my yoga friends. Welcome to Got Yoga. I'm Chris Scott, and this is Phoebe the Weenie. And in today's class, yoga for weight loss, movement, and mobility, we are doing a 45-minute well-rounded class where you're going to find yourself stretching and activating, getting your heart pumping, and finding moments of rest and serenity. So I hope you are ready to connect to your breath, connect to your body, and find yourself doing some intentional, beautiful movement. Let's do it. You're going to start by rolling up a blanket, or you can roll up your mat to about 4 inches in diameter, something at least 4 inches in diameter. So if you don't have a blanket, you can just roll up your mat probably about halfway. If you have a thick mat, grab your strap, make a little loop with your strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a tie or a belt. Make a little loop. We're going to lay back on our nice little tight roll here. And you don't want your chest all flaring like this. You want to be lined up so that about your armpit lines up with about the top of the roll. Bring your arms into your strap so that the loop is above your elbows here. Join your palms together. Relax your head and reach your arms back behind you. Now your strap should be just right above your head. And you can either straighten your legs or leave your knees bent. Either way, close your eyes. Should feel a little bit of this in the lats. Move around a little, get settled in. Once you've settled, start to bring the awareness, draw it in. So relaxing all the muscles of the face, relaxing the space behind the back of your eyes. And beginning to notice your breath. Letting the belly expand on every inhale. Contract on every exhale. And continuing that lengthening of the breath. Try to keep conscious breath awareness throughout the rest of our practice. And today we really want to move with intention. So just try to be aware and find integrity in every movement. Keep that steady breath. One more big inhale. Long exhale, let it all out. Blink open your eyes. Lift your hands up, remove your strap. Sit yourself up so that you can either move your blanket out of the way or unroll your mat. And then go ahead and grab your block and lay back down. So bring the block in between your thighs, the long way in between your upper thighs here. Relax the head and squeeze your block. So when you squeeze your thighs into your block, you'll notice there might be a change in your hips. They will start to draw towards you. So we're hugging everything into the midline here. Keep that energy of hugging into the midline. Really wrap your abdomen, wrap all those muscles around your spine, knit those ribs in, and keep that. Remove your block. Keep all that energy hugging into the midline and lift your feet up into the air. From here, keeping the low back connected to the ground, start to tap with your toes. And you want to find as little as movement as possible in your torso. You just want the movement coming from your legs. Hugging the abdomen in, trying to keep that low back connected to the ground. Tapping with the left foot, tapping with the right foot. And if you want to make it harder, tap farther away from you. Continuing that steady breath as we make these movements. Tappity tap, tap, tap. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest and plant your feet down. All right, we're going to kick this up a notch. Grab your block and lift your feet up. Squeeze your block between your heels so that your block is long ways. So again, imagine you're squeezing something between your thighs even though your knees are spread apart. Tuck those ribs in so that we have the low back connected to the ground here. And we're going to exhale. See if we can lower our heels down, the knees start to draw apart, and tap the block on the ground. And then inhale to lift back up. These are Frogger taps. So if your low back is starting to compromise as you do this, then just lower down to wherever you can keep that integrity and then lift back up. I'm even having some trouble with it. Oops. Keep going. Lower your block down. Try to tap the block on the mat and then lift the heels back up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Oh, everything's burning right now. I don't know about you. We'll do 3 more. Exhaling. Lowering the block. Tap. Inhale to lift back up. Keep that low back in. Hug those abdomens. The abdomen around the spine. And you are done. Remove your block. Hug your knees into your chest. And see if you can rock yourself up to a seated position. So swing your feet, and if you can't do this, then just roll over to one side and find your way up to a seated position. Doesn't really matter how you are seated right now. Just go ahead and inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, gaze up. And then exhale, lower down over to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Just find some nice movement here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. You can sweep it around to the other side. Finding an inhale and an exhale. An inhale and an exhale. Inhale to lift up and grab your block. That was either fun or terrible because you have no idea what was going on. Grab your block, squeeze it between your knuckles here, straight arms, and then we're going to reach through our ring fingers, so we're pressing that block away, squeeze into our pinkies, have a broad chest, and inhale, lift the block up. Keep reaching the block away, keep squeezing into your pinkies, and then exhale to lower the block down. Notice that as you inhale the block up, are your ribs flaring? Do you need to hug your ribs in? And exhale to lower down. Inhale, rise halfway up, reach through your ring fingers, broaden your collarbones, squeeze into your pinkies, and lower down. Let's do one more. Lift up, hover here. Come all the way up, upper arms in line with the ears. Keep breathing. And exhale to lower down. Anytime I don't tell you when to breathe, just keep breathing. Inhale, lift up. Reach that block up towards the sky. And exhale, lower down. Ooh, release your block, shake it out. Bring your shins crossed in front of you so that they're parallel with the front of your mat. And I draw them away from me. That's how I get my shins parallel with the front of my mat. I want my feet closer to my knees than to one another. Press your hands into the earth behind you. Inhale as you bring your head over your heart and your heart over your hips. And then keep that long spine as you exhale, drawing the torso forward. Start to ground your thighs down towards the floor. And maybe you walk the hands forward here if it's comfortable. Listen to the low back. Relax your head. Find a comfortable stopping point here in this forward fold. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Still grounding those thighs down towards the floor. And inhale to rise yourself back up. Swing your feet to one side. Find your way onto your hands and knees. Coming into cat-cow, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Hands shoulder distance, knees hip distance. Press into your hands. Lift your sit bones, lift your gaze. And inhale for a stretchy cat. Exhale, round your upper back, lengthen your tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, stretchy cat, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, protracting the shoulders for an angry cat. You can get a little wiggly here. Inhale. Get creative with your cat-cow, whatever feels right to you. Inhale, still actively press through your index finger knuckle and your thumb knuckle as you exhale and as you inhale. Exhale one more time. And then find your way back to a neutral spine position. Hugging the abdomen up towards the spine. Reach the left leg back, pressing the left heel into an imaginary wall, and your hip points are pointed down towards the floor. Once you've found that integrity and you're ready to reach that right hand out, reach it far away, and lengthen the back of your skull so you have a nice long neck up towards the ceiling. We're in bird dog. We're going slow this first round. Plant your right hand down out in front of you. Plant your left foot as far forward as you can, close to your left hand, and lower your right hip down for a nice stretch. You're going to come back to your bird dog. So inhale, reach. Exhale, lower the hand down, foot forward, lower that hip down. So inhale to reach. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, activate. Exhale, left foot comes forward. Inhale, bird dog, and exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, right hip lowers down. Inhale, reach that heel away, and exhale, left foot comes forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Hang out here for a minute. Find a nice steady breath. And then press back into the tabletop. So get readjusted in your tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Reach your right heel away this time into an imaginary wall. Pull the abdomen up towards the spine, level the hips down towards the mat, and reach that left hand out. From here, left hand lowers down in front of you, right foot comes forward, left hip lowers down. And we're going to inhale to reach. exhale, lower. Inhale, bird dog, exhale, right foot comes forward. Inhale, reach, exhale, lower. Inhale, reach, exhale, lower. Inhale, press into that right hand, exhale, lower your left hip. Oh. Inhale, drawing the navel up, exhale, stretching it out. We've got activation and then some nice passive stretching. One more, inhale and exhale. Hang out here for a minute. Find a steady breath if you lost it. Press into your left hand. Tuck your toes. Sit back onto your heels and roll your wrists out really quick. This might be uber painful for you, but it'll be good in the long run. All right, coming back into your tabletop. Walk the hands forward a bit. Bring the shoulders over the wrists, and then go ahead and tuck your toes and straighten your legs. We're in a high plank position now, so draw the navel up, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, and keep remembering to press into that index finger knuckle and thumb knuckle. We're gonna go slow for this first round of this fun little flow. So press into the left hand, reach the right hand forward, and then option one is to lower the right hand back down, lower the right knee down, and inhale as you lift the ribs and open up to the left. Option two, from your plank after you've reached the right hand forward and lowered it back down, is to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, bring your left foot behind you, and inhale as you lift your ribs for a side plank. So here we go. Lower your knees down, tuck your toes, roll your wrists, shake it out. Take a breath, and let's do this. Plant the hands down, shoulder distance, Hasta Bandha. Reach the feet back, come into a high plank. Inhale, reach the left hand forward. Exhale, plant the left hand down. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Inhale, lift the ribs. Exhale, come back into a plank. Inhale, reach the left hand forward. Exhale. Inhale, lift the ribs. Exhale, back into a plank. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach the right hand forward. Exhale, outer edge of the right foot. Inhale to lift the hips. And exhale to come back into a plank. Right hand forward. Roll onto the outer edge of that right foot. Inhale. Press into that right hand. Exhale, come into a plank. Lower the knees down. Bring the big toes to touch. Bring the knees wide. Sit the hips back for a resting hero. Relax your head. Let your elbows go loosey-goosey. Take a breath here. Sit yourself up. We're going to do that one more time. Hands shoulder distance. Shoulders over wrists. Step the feet back. High plank. Really find a nice straight line here. Engage everything into the midline. Reach the right hand forward. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Lift the ribs. Side plank. Exhale, coming back into your plank. Inhale, right hand forward. Exhale. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, come back into a plank. One more time on the right side. Inhale, right hand forward. Exhale, outer edge. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, high plank. Left hand this time. Left hand forward. Exhale. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, back into a plank. Inhale, reach the left hand. Exhale, outer edge of the left foot. Inhale, lift those ribs. Exhale, plank. One more time on the left side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, press into the foot and the hand. Exhale, plank. Lower the knees down. Knees together, feet together. Sit back, drape your torso over your legs for Balasana, child's pose. So you can reach your hands back behind you here. Finding your steady breath, letting the forehead wrinkle towards the nose. Lift yourself up a bit. Plant your hands out in front of you, shoulder distance. Tuck your toes and lift your hips for your first downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So your feet are hip distance. You're pressing into your hands as you lift your sit bones up towards the sky and really firm your forearms together here. Take a nice deep breath. Bring a generous bend to your knees. Get those sit bones up even higher. Gaze at your hands and step or jump to the front of your mat. Fold forward, drape your torso over your legs. Maybe that means you need to bend your knees to do that. And you're going to inhale, ground through your feet as you rise up, coming to stand, and exhale to join your palms. The feet are together, hip distance if you have low back issues. Inhale, gaze up, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees as you fold forward. Inhale, rise halfway up to a flat back. And then exhale, plant the fingertips, shoot the right leg back. Drop your back knee. We're going to come into an Anjaneyasana here. Stay on your fingertips or low lunge. And just let your hips sag. Notice how that feels. And then I want you to scrape your left heel towards you and imagine your top of your left knee is shooting away. And notice how that brings more integrity here in your outer hips. So you're engaging those outer hips. Bring the hands onto the hips and inhale as you rise the body up. And keep that hugging of the femur bones into the sockets as you maybe sink a little deeper if you'd like. We're going to plant our hands, press back into a high plank, and then lower the knees down is an option, or just lower all the way down. So keep that broad chest, hugging the elbows towards the body as you lower down. Inhale, draw our shoulders back, broaden our chest, and then exhale, press back into another downward facing dog. Bend the knees, gaze forward, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, rise halfway up with a flat back. Exhale, this time, shoot your left leg back. Drop your back knee, scrape your right heel towards you, the knees shooting forward, and inhale as you rise the body up. Keeping those outer hips engaged, you can sink the hips a little if you'd like here. Then we're going to exhale, plant our palms, come into a high plank, shoulders over wrists. Take an inhale here, press into your hands, hug the navel in, and exhale, lower down. You can always lower down the knees if you feel like you're collapsing. Inhale, draw the shoulders back for a low cobra, ground the thighs, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips high, gaze at the hands, knees are bent, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, rise halfway up, and exhale, again, folding forward. Drape that torso over your thighs. We're going to bend our knees now, gaze forward, and sit our hips back for Utkatasana, chair pose. So join your palms together, lift your chest, lengthen your tailbone, and sink your hips. Sometimes I like to gaze back at my feet, sits my hips back a little bit. You can reach the hands forward here, whatever you'd like. One more breath, hug the navel up towards the spine, lift the chest, lengthen the tailbone, and sink your hips. Inhale, Come to rise. Whew. And shake it out. How you doing? Doing good? Huh? All right. Bring your feet together at the top of your mat. Ground through your feet and bend your right knee. So lift your right foot up. You can have the hands on the hips here. So there should be a little tiny bend in your left knee, and the top of your thigh should be engaged. From here, we're gonna go ahead and shoot our right foot way back behind us for a high lunge. Woo. So press into your left foot and reach your right heel into an imaginary wall. Your hip points, start to lift them up. So hugging that abdomen around the spine. You should feel a nice stretch in the top of your right thigh. Join the palms together. Take a nice deep inhale, broaden the chest, and exhale. Keep a long spine as you start to lean your torso forward. Inhale, nice broad chest. Exhale, turn over to the left, hovering your right elbow over your left knee. Take a breath here. Use your abdominals to turn. Don't hook. Use those muscles. Inhale to come back to center. And now reach your hands back behind you. Broad chest, begin to lean the weight forward as you press into your right foot and press off like a lift off into your Vimanasana airplane pose here. So you've got the weight on your left foot now. You've got a nice long spine, and you're reaching your right heel away with the hip points pointed down towards the floor. We're going to inhale, see if we can keep that right foot hovering off the ground as we come back to stand. Keep hovering here, stand here. Bring your left hand to your right knee and inhale as you open up to the right side. Should be a nice little twist for your spine here. Take another breath. Release, shake it out. Whew. Let's have fun on the other side. Feet together at the top of the mat. Hands on the hips. Lift the left leg up. So bend that left knee. Here we go. We're going to shoot that left foot back. Coming into a high lunge. Press that left heel away. Join the palms together. And take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, start to draw the torso forward. From here, you're going to inhale. And as you exhale, use your abdominals to turn over to the right. Keep pressing into your feet. Stack the right shoulder on top of the left. Inhale to come back to center. Reach the hands back. Exhale as you lift off, bringing the weight onto that right foot. Top of the thigh engaged on that right leg. Reaching the left heel away. Long spine, hips pointed down. And if you need to be up like this, this is much better than something like this. You know what I'm saying? So you just want to have a nice line of energy with the hips pointed down. Let's see if we can inhale, sweep that left knee back up to stand. Bring the right hand to the left knee and inhale as you open up to the left side. So draw that left shoulder back. And then exhale to release. Shake it out. All right, now for the fun part. Bring your feet together, bend your knees slightly, and cross your right ankle over your left knee. You can flex your right foot. I like to. And we're going to exhale, sit the hips back, reach the hands forward. Inhale, come to stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. Exhale, bend that left knee, push into your foot. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, woo, stand. One more. Exhale, sit the hips back. And inhale, come to stand. Let's switch sides. Ground through your right foot, find bends in your knees, and then cross your left ankle over your right knee. We're going to exhale, sit the hips back. Still hugging the abdomen in. And inhale, come to stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sink those hips. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, sit, sit, sit into an imaginary chair. And inhale, come to stand. Shake it out. This next part's gonna be fun. So bring your feet shoulder distance at the top of your mat. Now, option one is to join the palms, bend the knees, sink the hips, go as far down as you can, keeping that integrity with the chest lifted and that idea of the abdomen hugging in. And then inhale to stand and squeeze your glutes at the top. So you can bring your fingers here, just squeeze your butt cheeks together. So that's option one. Option two, join the palms, bend the knees, sink the hips all the way down, roll back, roll forward, come to stand, squeeze the glutes. So I'm going to be showing option two. Option one, you exhale and then inhale. And option two, we're going to do together. So here we go. Join the palms, exhale to sink the hips. Inhale, swing it back. Exhale, plant the feet. Inhale, squeeze the glutes at the top. Exhale. Inhale, plant the feet as you exhale. Inhale, squeeze the glutes at the top. Exhaling down. Inhaling, rock back. See, isn't this fun? Exhale and inhale. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, swing it back. Plant the feet. Inhale at the top. One more time. Just have a little fun, making a little movement. Plant the feet. Squeeze the glutes at the top and shake it out. All right, let's just find our way down. So join your palms one more time. We're going to bend our knees, sink our hips, and sit back. So we found our way down to the floor. You're going to plant your feet down. Reach your hands back behind you. Lift your chest. Find that long spine. And we're going to do, I like to call them Navasana Switches. So hug the abdomen around the spine. So draw the navel up and back. Lift the feet up. So you can start with the shins parallel with the mat. You're going to inhale over to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale over to the left. Exhale back to center. Keep the chest lifted. Try not to collapse. So inhale, center, inhale, exhale, center. Inhale to the right, exhale to the center, inhale to the left, exhale to the center. Or you can go inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Whew. Plant the feet down. Join the palms of the feet together. Plant the hands behind you. Inhale as you bring the head over the heart. And then exhale. Keep a long spine, broad chest as you draw the torso over the legs for a bound angle. You can bring the hands, grab them at the ankles, let the head relax. Relaxing the forehead, because you don't have two foreheads. And then go ahead and find your way onto your back. So you may want your block. Lay back. Bring your heels close to your buttocks with the feet hip distance. And squeeze the block between your thighs. That squeezing is gonna level the hips, connecting the lower back to the ground. And you're going to inhale, press into your feet, shoot the knees forward to lift the hips. And you can reach the arms overhead as you do that. And then exhale, bring the hands, lower the hips down. So you don't have to squeeze the block. I just wanted you to get that feeling. Where the ribs are softened, so that the low back is connected to the ground. Keep that hugging in as you inhale. Press into the feet, and then exhale to lower back down. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise, and you can tell, you can bring your hands, this should be engaged, and then exhale to lower. One more, inhale. Lift, hold here, press into your feet, lift those hips high, and exhale to lower it down. Now join the palms of your feet together again in Baddha Konasana like we did before, with the heels close to the groin. Again, hug. So knit those ribs in so everything's nice and stable here. Plant the hands down and see if you can squeeze the glutes and lift the hips. Lower them down. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. And if you hate these, then you can just go back to our original bridge. But this external rotation of the legs helps you to really get into the gluteus, the glutes. Gonna make that booty look good. 2 more. Lift. You might not get very high, that's all right. Lift and lower. Hug the knees into the chest. And then rock yourself up. So now I want you to swing your feet over to one side. Find your way onto your knees. Grab your block with the knees together and the feet together. Swing your feet out to opposite sides so that you can make space for a block here for your sit bones. And then sit your hips back and draw the heels so they're underneath your hip bones. Now plant your right foot down and plant your hands behind you. Inhale as you press into your right foot and lift the hips towards the sky. You should get a nice stretch on that left thigh, nice quad stretch. And then exhale to lower the hips back down. Inhale to sit yourself back up. And then you're going to bring your weight forward. So you drape your torso over this right knee here and bring the weight forward. We're trying to work on that dorsal flexion in our right foot. So finding mobility in that right foot. I'm just opening my knee to show you here. When you bring the weight forward, keep the heel on the ground. And we're just pulsing. So you are here for a minute and then you sit the weight back onto your block. Dorsal flexion. Sit back. One more. Bring the weight. Keep the heel on the ground. That foot is super flexed. And then lower back down. Let's do one more top of the thigh stretch. Plant the hands down. Fingers pointed forward. Lift the hips. You can relax the head if you'd like. And lower the hips. Sit back up. Let's switch sides. So again, the knees are together. Now you've got your right heel underneath your right hip bone, and you're planting your left foot down. Hands come behind you. Lift your chest, press into that left foot. Feel that stretch on the top of your right thigh. Lower the hips down. Sit back on the block. Inhale, rise back up to sit. And then we're going to bring the weight forward onto this left foot here. So come off of your block. Get that flexion in the left foot for a couple of seconds. Sit back down on the block. Bring the weight forward. And sit back down. This is really good for ankle mobility. And this will help with that exercise we were doing earlier where we squatted all the way down, swung back, and then stood back up. You have more of this dorsal flexion. You'll find Malasana or yogi squats like that easier. Can even make driving easier. Because when you drive with your, never mind. So try to keep the heel down on the ground. Sit the hips back. All right, plant the hands down again. I like to scoot my left foot forward sometimes a little bit. Press into that left foot, broad chest, lift the hips. Stretch in the top of that right thigh. Oh yeah, that's good. And then lower down. Let's find our way onto our backs. So remove your block and lay back. Hug your knees into your chest. Plant your hands out in a T shape. That low back connection to the ground and the abdomen's wrapping around the spine. Turn that on. And then lower your knees over to the left. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, lower your knees to the right. Keep the left shoulder down. Inhale to come back to center. Keep hugging the knees in so you're keeping the back connected. And then exhale, lower over to the left. Right shoulder down. Inhale, hug the knees into the chest. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees over to the right. So this is good for the mobility in your thoracic spine. Hug the knees in, knees over to the right. And it's always good, knees over to the left to end your practice with the twist. Hug the knees back to center and straighten the legs. So it's everybody's favorite part, Shavasana. Bring a rolled up blanket underneath your knees if you have lower back issues. The knees are wide, your feet fall to the sides. Hands are 45 degrees away from the body. Palms facing up. Relax your everything and close your eyes. So find that stillness. Ignore your dog if it's trying to play with you. And quiet down. Let the heels root down into the ground. Release any tension from your toes. Your shin bones feel heavy. The skin on the top of your thighs start to melt down towards the floor, falling away from the bone. Bringing the awareness to the hip points. Imagine the hips are spreading apart. Let the abdomen relax. Be a spacious pool. Find that steady, normal, everyday breath here. Back to your regular breath. Shoulders relax, they ground down towards the floor. Releasing deep in the back of your throat. Relaxing your jaw. Sides of the temples, release. Relaxing behind your eyeballs. I encourage you to hang out here in Shavasana for a couple more minutes, and I will see you next time. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel. See you later.